Alright, so today we're doing systems of equations, and I've got two different types of equations that I want to look at. The first type are called linear because they make a line. What you'll notice right here is the x right here has an exponent of 1. Anytime something has an exponent of 1, that means it is linear. So we're going to be looking at linear equations today. We're also going to be looking at quadratic. Quadratic means the highest exponent is 2. So notice x squared. That means that equation is going to be quadratic. Now, whenever you graph a quadratic equation, you're going to get a U-shaped parabola. So it's going to be a U-shape instead of a line. Okay? So let's look at the system of equations we have down here. Now, this system is going to have a parabola, which is going to be graphed by this quadratic equation right here. So this one is quadratic. And then we have a linear equation that is going to create a line. So it's going to look like that. This one is linear because the highest exponent is 1 instead of 2. Okay? So to solve systems of equations, what we're going to do is we're going to set the y's equal to each other. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the quadratic part on the left side, and I'm going to put the linear part on the right side. And you'll see why I'm doing that in a few minutes. So I'm going to take the x squared plus 8x plus 11, and I'm going to put it on the left side. On the right side, I'm going to put the x plus 1. Alright, so now I've got the quadratic part on the left side, I've got the linear part on the right side, and now what I want to do is I want to get everything to the left side. So what I'm trying to do now is I'm trying to get the x over to this side, and I'm trying to get the 1 over to this side. So I'm trying to get everything on the left side, and what that's going to do is it's going to make the right side into 0 or nothing, right? Since nothing is going to be left on the other side. So to get rid of the positive x, I'm going to subtract it from both sides. And the positive 1, I'm going to also subtract that from both sides. Okay. So then I draw my line. And what you'll notice over here is everything gets canceled out. And everything is going to show up on the left side now. Now, because I got rid of everything on the right side is going to be equal to nothing, or 0. Everything is going to show up on the left side now. So let's add up the two lines. The x squared is not adding to any x squared terms, so we're just going to bring down the x squared the way it is. And then the x terms will give me 8x minus 1x. 8 minus 1, that's going to be 7x. So I'm going to write plus 7x. And then over for the regular numbers, I have 11 minus 1. That's going to give me positive 10. Okay, so now everything is on the left side like I want it to be. And now I'm going to see if I can factor the left side. Well, to factor this, I would have to find two numbers that multiply to 10, but add up to 7. And I think that can be done by 5 and 2. So I'm going to factor this side as x plus 5 and x plus 2. Okay. And the right side is always going to be equal to 0 for these problems. Okay. So now I've factored the left side, and now I'm going to get two different equations, right? The two factors are going to become my two different equations. I'm going to have x plus 5 equals 0, x plus 5 equals 0, and I'm going to have x plus 2 equals 0. So basically, I'm setting both of the factors equal to 0, and now I can solve both for x. Now for this one, I'm going to be subtracting 5 from both sides. That way I can get x by itself. I get x equals 0 minus 5. 0 minus 5 is going to give me negative 5. Over here, I have x plus 2, so I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. That way, x can be by itself. and I get x equals 0 minus 2. That's going to give me negative 2. Okay. So now I have my two x values. And now what I can do is that I have the x values, I can now find the y values. Because what I'm trying to do is, I'm trying to find ordered pairs. I'm trying to find x, comma, y. Well, I already know what my x values are, right? The first one is negative 5, so I'm going to put that there. Leave a space for the y value. And my other x value is going to be negative 2. I'm going to put that right here. But make sure you leave a space for the y value, because we're going to find that next. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to find the y values. And the way I get those is by plugging it back in, right? Now, go back to your original two equations that they gave you. You can choose either the top one or the bottom one. It actually doesn't matter which one that you choose, but it will be easier to choose the bottom one, since you're only putting in x and then you're adding 1 to it. So let's choose the bottom equation. Okay. So the bottom equation is what? Y equals x plus 1. I'm going to write that right here for this one. And I'm going to write it right here for this one. Okay. So I know what my two x values are going to be. Negative 5 and negative 2. Now I plug them in. For this x, I'm going to put in negative 5. And for this x over here, I'm going to put in negative 2. And then we'll just see what happens. Okay, so I've got y equals negative 5 plus 1. That's going to give me negative 4. And over here, I have y equals negative 2 plus 1. That's going to give me negative 1. So now I know what my y values are. Now for the negative 5, remember we plugged in the negative 5. What did we get? We got negative 4 right here. So I'm going to put that next to the negative 5. Now right here, remember when I plugged in the negative 2, what's my y value? Negative 1. So I'm going to put that with the negative 2. And now I'm done. Okay, so I've got my two ordered pairs. Those are going to be my two solutions for the system. Now what you can do is you can actually check by graphing. You can check by graphing. Now the way you do this is, whatever type of graphing calculator you're choosing, most people choose Desmos. Some people are using the handheld calculators like the TI series. You can actually go to the y equals screen and you can plug in your original two equations. And what you're going to get is, you're going to get a graph that's going to look like a U-shape. So you're going to have a U-shape, but you're also going to have a line running through it. And that line is going to cross at 2 points, right here and right here. And those 2 points are going to be your ordered pairs up here, right? The negative 5 comma negative 4 and the negative 2 comma negative 1. And you can see all of this happen on the x, y plane. Okay? So I hope this helps. This is systems of equations. When you have a linear equation and a quadratic equation, you're going to want to do this. Okay?